So for the first time this year, I got to go on the Burner Express bus.
Oh, cool.
Which I had a great time with. Shout out to a dear, amazing, beautiful friend named Jessie. They helped me get all my gear in like 7 a.m. without anything returned, and they're just so kind enough to get me to the Burner Express bus.
Aww.
Just salt of the earth, beautiful human being, and I'll make sure that they recognize for that because they helped me out when I really needed it. But I got.
So did you take it from the Bay Area?
Yep, that's right.
Because it stops. You can take it from Reno and you can take it from the Bay Area. Is it in San Francisco?
San Francisco.
Yeah.
Right across the Bill Graham Civic Auditorium.
Oh, sweet. I'd never pictured the pickup. And now I'm picturing high school trip, like early in the morning ski bus shit, but with a bunch of burners across from Bill Graham. Yeah. Oh, that sounds like a blast.
It was so much fun. And one of the coolest moments that happened with that, Beth, was there was this lady named Sharon who got on the bus, and a couple of people on the bus just being like, oh, like they were giving off like you can't sit with us energy. So I'm like, mean girl shit. Sure, fun to be over with.
You guys haven't gotten enough to Burning Man.
Exactly right.
Save.
And I had my seat open, and he said like, hey, sit down with me. And she did, and we had on the way there a wonderful, God, it had to have been 6-7 hour conversation. And it was fantastic. And you've had a great conversation with someone when the time is passing by and neither of us noticed.
It's like, oh shit, we're in Reno.
Exactly. So I got to talk with her, wonderful human being. We talked about, what we're into, a lot of our interests. We're both into science fiction. Both talked about Star Trek a lot. Go Trekkies. Let's go. Live long and prosper, y'all. And we just really got along very well. I know she's also into improv, which I'm also into. I'm getting back into that soon. It was just amazing, Beth and Rex, to connect with someone that was just such a genuine, kind-hearted human soul. Like when two people just like are just like compatible and just chat for hours, it's a thing of beauty.
Oh, your intimacy burn just like started when you like got on the bus.
Yes, it did.
Those conversations are the ones that really break my heart open because it's like I talking to people is my favorite thing in the world, and it's also physically painful when I have to do it and don't enjoy it, which is a large part of my job.
Wow.
And that magic when you just click with someone and you're like, wait a second, have we been friends forever?
Oh,
like
yes.
we were friends this whole time and we just hadn't met each other. Like that, oh my God, I could talk to you forever is just such a magic sensation. And I run into it at Burning Man a lot, but usually not in a place where we can talk for like 6-7 hours straight.
Well said. Yeah, it was just an amazing ride. We talked on like so many topics, science fiction, Star Trek, Star Wars, Isaac Asimov Foundation, all of that good stuff. Yeah, and really the kicker... Nerds. And it was such a beautiful moment that I actually had the unique opportunity to give her a playa name on the way to the burn.
Fuck yeah.
And how I came up with the name is we had a conversation and I kept remembering that she really there was a glow to her face when she talked about improv and doing comedy.
Was this her first burn?
Her first burn too.
Yeah.
And it was just like, you can just tell when someone's really passionate about something that there is a glow to them when they talk about it.
Especially if it's improv.
Yes. She could not stop talking about it. And I was glad, like, please talk as much as you want. And she challenged me to said, hey, Passion, I want you to give me a playa name. And I was just like, I've never done this before. I didn't know if I was going to get the right name or not. But I said, like, let me do my best. So while there was internet service, and she was talking about, things that happened in her past, I came up with the name of Serenity.
Serenity.
And I gave that name to her for two big reasons. One, she really loves going to France. That was a major part of her life. And the origin of the word serenity comes from France. And I realized that when she talked about improv and doing comedy, it really put her in a place of serenity. So I just pulled that together and told her the name, and she was so immensely happy.
I mean, what a gift to give her before she even hits the dust. Like, that's a good one that, some people you get names like Dick Bucket and you don't
my God.
You don't know what you're invoking into your world, but Serenity seems like a great gift. I would have gone with Yes and, but that's harder to put on a label.
And it was such a beautiful name that when we met later during Burn Week, might have been a day or two before the temple burn happened, she came across my camp's art car. And she said, like, hey, Passion, I've been telling everybody the name you gave me and everybody loved it. So that's going to be my name. So I just feel like a sense of pride that I gave her first Burning Man name. It's the first time I've given somebody a Burning Man name.
And it stuck.
Yes.
And that you guys just ran into each other again. It's just like, oh, yeah, totally. She saw our art car. Yeah.
Yes.
It's totally normal for you to run into someone again at Burning Man.
I mean, that is the way it is.
It is the way
Yep.
it is.
Welcome to Accuracy Third. I'm Rex.
I'm Beth.
And I'm D-Day. And today, on Accuracy Third, we are talking to our friend Passion again. Well, I'm not. You guys are.
Wait, Passion is a gain? I mean, I know we learned something about Passion in this episode, but not that he was a gain. What is a gain? Is that like the other half of a feeder relationship?
Technically, I was talking to Passion for the first time.
I can't keep your shit straight, Beth.
Understandable.
Luckily, here on Accuracy Third, we are not big proponents of straight shit.
Always gaily forward, never straight.
Always coiled like a soft serve.
Or a 3 on the Bristol stool chart.
Or is it a 9? I always forget. Man, when we started this project in 2015, I never would have known that the Bristol stool chart would become canon for the podcast.
It's a recurring character.
It only showed up a couple of months ago.
But already it's enshrined.
Yeah, it's stolen our hearts.
Yeah.
It's mentioned a lot between the burn and now.
I'm going to start labeling the tracks BS1, BS5.
Ooh, not bad. We should start renaming the containers and the structures in camp with that. I would please very much like our kitchen trailer to be BS02. No reason. I'm glad we're still warming up because that's all unusable.
Yeah, totally. I don't want to compare Passion to the Bristol stool chart.
I mean, that's the button now. Just that sentence.
I got to meet Passion, which was fun. I had not, before that interview, I had not met Passion.
Quite a nice fellow.
Super nice.
Yes.
Super nice.
Love Passion.
Returning rock star, Passion. Hey, Passion, if you come on again, next time you got to interview someone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear that.
Yeah, so think about who you would like to talk to.
We call that the Xeno arc.
Once you've been on enough times, then you have to start interviewing. Popeye did it too. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is what happens when you become a frequent guest of the podcast.
You start doing our podcasting work with us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Oh, I would love that you said with us and not for us.
Yep. Yeah, sometimes I have the wherewithal to think about things while I'm saying them. I'm tasting them in my mouth.
Collaborators, welcome.
So Passion is plugged into the volunteer core of Burning Man on and off Playa. And one of the things that he does off Playa is he helps plan and execute decompression. Now, I have loved decompression or been apathetic about decompression over the years. And I've missed the past 2 years either because I had my kid those weekends or was just kind of over Burning Man.
For our non-Bay Area folks, decompression is a big party that is thrown in the Bay Area in October-ish. That is, and it's been in a lot of different places.
It's the Bay Area Regional.
It is. But it's just like a party, a long party, like 12 hours or something.
Mm-hmm. And has for a minute been the only other public event that Burning Man Project officially puts on.
Yeah, you can actually just like come and buy a ticket and come on in. And this year, for the first time in a long time, it would have been worth it.
Tell us about this year's.
They changed location. So it's been in a bunch of different locations since I've been in San Francisco. And it used to be like blocked off a city block in sort of an industrial area. And then it was under bridges and then it was down by the water. So they're always looking for like a mixed use space because people bring art, people bring bars, people bring like experiences and fill up a space There's some stages, it's hard to do well, honestly. For the last couple of years, I'd kind of been like, why are we even going to this anymore? Because it was on under a freeway, like
on city streets in San Francisco.
Around in blocks with like a club that you could go into. And it just felt like, why am I here? I mean, I'm sorry for people who contributed to that party. I just didn't like that location. And it always just felt like there was nothing to do and nowhere to be.
Yeah, there's something odd about doing it in between a bunch of closed buildings on the street.
Yeah.
Like when it was in the dog patch, it was on a street with a park in it. And
both times it was in the dog patch.
And like
they were great.
Against the backs of buildings, so it didn't feel as closed off. And a bunch of the businesses there were like part of it. There were a couple, 3 bars that were attached to it.
Totally.
And Copacabana used to be down there and open. And
there was a place to be. There was a park that you could like come and sit in. And it's
when it wasn't muddy.
When it wasn't muddy, it's usually a lovely day in San Francisco. And then it moved to the waterfront, which I quite liked. It was really pretty.
That spot was really cool.
I don't think that they can keep doing it there.
No, they next year they started to rehab that.
And that's when we saw the couple just fucking.
Yep.
Just fucking on the ground, on the well-lit ground.
But that was a good setup for that event.
That was a good setup because there was places to go around and through. And then it moved again this year, and now it is in Oakland.
For the first time ever.
And I loved where it was. I don't know, the whole vibe of the party felt different.
Yeah.
And it felt more burnery. That was sort of the problem. It being on city streets, it just felt like I'm at a street party, not like I'm at a Burning Man party. This felt like a Burning Man party.
Well, and the Loom is the perfect space for it because it's a maker space and it's closed off from the surrounding city. Like the freeway is on one side of it behind a sound wall, and then on the other side is the Alameda Channel, and like there's a street with a closed office building on the other side, and it's just other than that
space.
Yeah, it's a neat little isolated corner of Oakland, perfect for a party.
And it has indoor spaces and outdoor spaces, and like it was such a good vibe this year. I'm glad because it's been like 3 years of misses, and whenever I go, and I think I've always sort of blamed myself for it because when I'm going to it, I'm like, I miss Burning Man. And then it's not at all anything like Burning Man. And it's just, it doesn't do the thing that I want when I'm missing Burning Man. And then this time I was like, oh, this actually kind of feels like Burning Man. Like, I don't know why. Also, it seems like there weren't as many tourists.
Oh, I've never really noted tourists.
You really, oh my God, I feel like that's all I see.
In San Francisco, there was always tourists, but it's a really walkable city and it's pretty easy to go a couple neighborhoods over and wind up at the Burning Man Street Fair. But when it's at the Loom in Oakland between a highway and the Alameda Channel, you got to like intentionally go there.
Yeah, that might be it. It's sort of like it would always just get some San Francisco club kids. Like, you're just going out to the party this weekend, and this happens to be the party this weekend. And, like, sometimes that would be like, oh, and this is how you find out that Burning Man is for you. I feel like it's fine to have non-burners there, but sometimes it just ends up being like, oh, I'm just going out on the town in San Francisco, and I'm in my 40s and don't enjoy that.
Well, I enjoy passion, and I hope you all enjoy this interview with our friend Passion.
We should say great job, Passion, and the entire decompression crew. Like, if you helped make that this year, wow, yay, good job.
Nailed it.
And
Legendary.
also, if you helped make it the years that Beth didn't like it that much. Thank you. You also did a really good job.
Sorry.
Content warning for this episode. Some awful job shit, vague suicidal ideation, and Rex's romantic rejection.
Does that
I don't remember what story that was.
Does it need a content warning?
No.
Good.
But, in for a penny and in for a non sequitur.
I don't know. I just feel like, hey, we're talking to burners, so you should be like ready to hear about some mental health stuff at any time. Suicidal ideation is good to say out loud.
I'll pull that out. We can just put that in front of every episode.
Well, Passion, once again, back in the Shedio. Welcome back, my friend.
It is an honor to be here. Thank you, Beth. Thank you, Rex. Thank you, D-Day. Happy to be back.
Happy to have you back. How was your year this year?
This was my favorite burn of them all. This is my third. It was the burn that I had the least amount of time, and yet it was the best burn that I ever had.
Fuck yeah.
That's what I love to hear.
Best burn ever.
And not just because we had the best weather in decades.
That's one of many, many reasons I went into this burn being amazing. Although I will say, and I'll get into this more in a moment, it wasn't just getting to the burn that was important for me this year. It was my journey to get to this particular burn that was especially important for this year.
Why is that? What happened on your traverse to Playa?
That is an excellent question, Beth. And to answer that question, I'm going to just rewind until earlier this year in January because it was a very difficult time in my life. Last year, I got a new job, and going into the job into January, it wasn't working out well. There was a lot of nastiness that happened behind the scenes. Some racism was involved. It just was just a very depressing place to work.
How long had you been there in like January?
By January, I was there for, let's say, about 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
Started in September.
Yeah.
And I did my best. You know, I owned the mistakes I made. I did not feel like I get the support I needed. And things got shockingly worse.
Ugh.
And
was this a different employer or a different role within the organization?
a different department within the organization.
Oh my God, isn't it amazing how different, like once you get big organizations, you're like, oh, this has a healthy culture. And then you just
Yes.
move 3 steps over here and you're like, what the fuck is going on?
Oh my God, Beth, so well said. That's literally what happened to me. I went to this organization. I was hoping for the best. Things started well, and it just went downhill fast. To the point, I'll come out and say this because I've gone through therapy. I can be comfortable about what I'm saying next. It got really depressing where I didn't know like what was going to happen the next day. There were times where I cried to sleep. I was in bed when I worked from home because I did my best with this job and it did not go well at all.
Oh, that sounds so awful.
Oh, no, it gets worse and it's going to get better. And Burning Man's going to be included to this. I don't want people to think that there's no Burning Man connection to this, but it got so bad to the point that just because of everything that happened and my mental stress, it was decided that I should just go home. So they placed me on leave and I got to be home for 4 months.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
Yeah.
How was that?
It got paid, which was great. So
Yeah.
thank
nice.
God for that. But it was a difficult time in my life because I didn't know if I'd find employment again, if I would even be alive, because there's just a lot of dark shit that happened that I didn't know if I would actually be here. And to top off everything else that I mentioned, I recently discovered it came to my attention as I'm 40 years old, my 40th birthday, which was this year, that turns out that I have high functioning autism and ADHD.
No.
No, and wait,
An
it actually.
engineer from Burning Man?
Oh no, it gets more wild than that. My family members knew about it and didn't bother telling me until this year.
Oh.
So my life up until then was essentially a lie. I didn't really know who I was until this year.
Whoa.
And it was dark. It was a lot to process. I had to question who I was, my purpose here on this planet. What am I meant to do? After discovering all this about myself, it got to the point where I didn't know if I was worthy of actually being here on this planet.
I'm so sorry that you went through that.
I appreciate that very much, Beth. It was just a dark 4 months as I figured, like, if I'm going to get a new job, I'm going to be here. Like, what the hell? How do I move forward from all this? And to get back to Burning Man, a miracle happened. One that I did not think would happen, that I didn't think would happen, especially to me, but it happened. Randomly out of the blue, right around June or July, things started finally going up for me. Like the universe decided, all right, we had enough kicking you in the shitter. Let's finally giving you a break. So I've got a new job where I'm at now. It's going well. It's nice to have a manager that cares about you. And even more, and this is going to surprise a lot of people, through my time at Burning Man, I've been volunteering for them for the past few years. And someone in the organization who knew me very well and I got along with very well and was impressed by my volunteer work, just randomly out of the blue emailed me and say, hey, Passion, do you want a free ticket?
Oh.
I'm almost going to cry saying this. I was stunned. I actually thought it was a spam email and I put it in the trash. realizing like, if this is real, this is a free ticket. I could use this. So I responded to the person who remained nameless, and he said like, no, what's your passion? You're an amazing dude. You bring such positive vibes. Why don't you just go back home one more time? And I sat there and cried. I'm holding back tears now. Like after all of the shit that this year area put me through, I was just kicked again and again and again. And for this miracle to come, I just sat there in my house in an hour and just cried. It was a rare time that I got to happy cry, because after what a shitty year it's been earlier, I finally got the miracle that I needed. And I came to realize like, oh shit, I got to prepare for Burning Man. And I got less than a month to do it. Cue going to work and getting the time off, which thankfully I got. Cue getting my supplies, doing everything that I needed to do in a month's time and making it out to the playa, which thank the universe I actually did.
That's so wonderful. Great. Yeah.
Remind us what team you volunteer with.
It's a Burning Man community events team.
That's right. You helped put on the decompression and
I did that. I did that again this year. Yeah. It was amazing. For decompression, I was the food theme camp lead. So basically, any food camps that was at decompression, I had to just make sure the paperwork was fine with the city, make sure we got them approved, make sure we got them properly placed for decompression, just genuinely making sure that they had a great time at the event. And I'm happy to say that we did. I pulled it off with flying colors.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for that, because that is such a cool part of decompression. Like, that is definitely something that makes it feel more burnery than your regular street party.
And that's going to be such a fun event to work behind the scenes on. Like, you're right there in the heart of San Francisco throwing that party.
It's, oh my God.
So cool.
Yeah, thank you, Rex. It's such an amazing opportunity. One, just to work with a talented crew. Like, it's not exaggerating to say that this is some of the best, hardest working people I've ever worked with on anything. And none of us get paid to do this, by the way. I want to make sure that's clear. We're all doing this because we're passionate about keeping the burner community alive, especially in, the tough times that we live in. Community matters. And all of us poured our heart, sweat, and tears to making sure that we keep this community alive and bring people together, which I'm happy to say we did. I believe the turnout for decompression was about over 6,000 people.
Wow. That's so great.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of the big artist volunteers I know work on the community events team. Former guest or one-time guest of this show, Chukaki, volunteers in the community.
Oh yeah, I always see Chukaki at decompression, and like they are like walking around desperately looking for stuff to do by the time I show up, because they are a person who would much rather be throwing the party than be at the party.
Yep.
And that event is so well oiled. There's often not a thing to do because everybody is so on it.
Passion, I went through a very similar experience. I got an ADHD diagnosis at right around the same age you are, and have since then been slowly but surely recontextualizing all the pieces of my life as I come to understand what my brain is like and how different it is than neurotypical brains.
Yes, well said. For me, much like you, Rex, I'm happy that this happened, because I feel that more than, blissful moments in life, difficult moments are what can define you. And for me, I decided to turn this into a positive. I decided to forgive those family members, some who are not here to accept that in person. They're on, the next plane of existence in this human experience we call life. But forgiveness for me was doing it more for me so that I can heal and move forward. Genuinely speaking, pain and anger and bitterness, I feel like those emotions is something that decays the user who has those emotions. And for me, my life, I felt so much love for myself that I felt like I needed to move forward. And that started by forgiving those people. And some of them who are alive, I just told them, it is what it is. We're still family. We have so many memories to make together, and I choose to move forward. And I choose to make something beautiful out of this experience rather than just sit here and be angry and pissed and like, why the fuck this happened to me? No, like, there's so many more years to live. And 40, as I've been told by many people, is really when your life truly begins.
Out of just curiosity, if you have this space to talk about this experience, did you feel that an earlier diagnosis would have helped you? Like you feel like that what was your friends and family who knew but didn't tell you were preventing you from getting to where you could start to like conceptualize it, address it? What?
Excellent question, Beth. Had I known a lot earlier in my life, it would have been essential. I remember certain moments in my life where if I knew who I fully was, I could have handled those moments differently or avoided them in the first place. But as my therapist, wonderful therapist, has told me, living your life as you are bravely is the most beautiful thing that anybody can do. And while like having knowing earlier would have been nice, if by me knowing at the time that I did, it made me into the person that I am today. And so I'm happy for that experience because now I get to claim a part of my life back. Now I know who I fully am. Like life is a party and I am going to party the fuck out of it now. It's going to be balls to the fucking wall now because now I know who I am. I'm not going to sit here and just have a pity party. That's why I go to Burning Man for. I want to have a Burning Man party. I want to live. I want to do things that I didn't think I'd be able to do. Like, go back to college for my master's, get an apartment, continue the volunteer work I do, lifting up my friends and family and just generally just living life to the fullest.
It's kind of freeing to have a diagnosis because you get to approach the challenges that have always seemed insurmountable with specific tactics that are effective. Like I don't have to sit frozen on the couch unable to do anything because I can't get a dopamine hit anymore because I take a pill in the morning and my brain is like chill.
Oh, wow.
No longer overwhelmed by the world all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I find it fascinating as I've gotten deeper in the Burning Man community and as the discourse has changed and articulated around autism, ADHD, all these other different forms of non-neurotypical brains, I've gotten to know a lot of people where I'm like, oh, this is what is going on between us. This is how you function. Burning Man's really where I've come to, I really appreciate it's taken me a while to understand our autistic friends in the community. And now I have a lot of close autistic friends and I adore it because they'll just be like, hey, I can't read what's going on with your face. You got to tell me with your words.
Yes.
And there's this level of communication that broadens the way that I communicate. And it allows for a different way of understanding people that I really appreciate, which I hadn't really done before the Burning Man community. I didn't know people who were like, yeah, I'm autistic. This is why this interaction is not making sense to you or I. So
wow.
And I feel like it's allowed me the absolute superpowers that people who process that differently, like someone, I'm not going to name names, but someone in our camp who I love a lot is able to have really tough conversations with people that I could not possibly have because I will just start crying. I just take on people's feelings when they're having strong feelings. And I get really scared when people are displaying feelings of anger or aggression. I have to work really, really, really hard to not respond to the feelings that I see all over people. Whereas our dear friend in camp can fucking just she knows those feelings are there, but she doesn't have to tap into them at all and can remain in this really good, positive, neutral place, which is something we fucking need. It's just, I don't know. At Burning Man, the diversity of the ways that our brains work makes so much more sense because we can see how they benefit our communities as opposed to just being everybody's isolated in their own little house pod and your struggles are your own,
Oh my God.
So it's been a revelation to me as someone who is, has my own neurodiversity, but it's I'm dyslexic. It's just a different thing. And I am really, really overly sensitive to people's feelings. I read feeling, and I'm also incredibly expressive. So I'm also really used to everyone knowing what is going on with me sometimes before I know what's going on with me because my face is just doing that before I can consciously register it. And it's been really interesting for me. And it's such an open, lovely place where everyone not everyone, but where there's space to talk about those things and figure out how to best work with each other. And I love that.
God, Beth, that was so beautifully said. I'd hug you if I could because that was almost making me cry. Aww. That's such beautiful words. And that's what made me, comfortable sharing this with you all. And thank you all for the opportunity to do this again, by the way. It's knowing thyself as one of the most beautiful acts of kindness one can do to themselves. And being able to be in a space like Burning Man where not just I, but we as a collective, as a community can just come and be ourselves is such a treasured instance in the universe. And so, like, yeah, I can come to Burning Man and just know, like, I'm not the only one who's like me. There's so many others who are like me or who had my experience and my struggles. And that really feels comforting.
It really is a special place for neurodivergence.
Yeah.
I know there's a huge overrepresentation of ADHD people in the volunteer pool specifically.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
And it just kind of dawned on me that there's this thing that I've experienced as an ADHD brain and have only recently come to understand that other people don't experience this. I don't experience friendship decay with like time and distance. I can not see somebody for years, and the next time I see them, it's like none time has passed.
Like that seems so. I mean, that I feel the same way. I don't know if that has anything to do with ADHD.
Well, you know, we're going to continue with different diagnosis, Beth. We can go over the checklist again.
Oh my God.
But there's something magical about the friendships that develop at Burning Man that can exist only at Burning Man and don't feel detracted by not manifesting in the real world.
Yeah, like there's no limit on intimacy, on like sharing like the hardest moments and the best moments in people's lives.
Yes.
Like Burning Man is such an intimacy generator, and like the way that you can have really, really close friends that you spend maybe a week and a half a year with.
Yeah.
But man,
Who you've known for maybe 3-4 weeks in total.
In total.
Yes.
In total. That is just always so funny when I think of my Burning Man friends that I feel very close to, where it's like, wow, we've not spent more than 2 months in person together in our entire like decade of friendship.
Wow.
Yeah.
Camp friends.
Friends. I miss you, friends.
So tell us about your burn this year. How did you shape it?
This is something that Beth said, and it was just really just crazy cosmic timing that she mentioned it, because if I had to put like, people like to call it like, put a moniker on their Burning Man experience, and for me, I would call this an intimate man, because this was an experience that were formed by many, many wonderful intimate experiences.
Oh, I love that.
And it's, for me, like what I got out of Burning Man this year, just something that I really cherished was just all of the quiet moments that I had with people. And yes, you know, going out into Deep Playa, going out to random adventures, going to, you know, sound camps, you know, that was all wonderful. But it was just the quiet moments, the moments where I can just sit and be intimate in someone, whether it's just, you know, personal, intellectually, physically, intimately, sexual in one particular case. It was just so many wonderful, beautiful, intimate moments that just, for me, made Burning Man such a fantastic burn for me this year.
Oh, I love that. Did you camp with the camp that you have been with? Was it Janky Barge?
Yes, I camped with the Janky Barge again for this burn. And like for many camps, as I've been told, it was quite a challenging year because like many camps, including ours, we had to deal with a reduced size. So for us, I know I can speak for our camp. We had to make the choice of there's only like 20 something of us, and we have an art car. We have to get it out to the Deep Playa. We have to create memories. We have to bring people together as what this camp does. And we decided to embrace the suck. And we just pulled up. Everybody came together. Everybody pulled their own weight, and we were able to get the Janky Barge out there to Deep Playa and make it part of the Burning Man community.
Excellent.
Yeah, I know there was another wedding that happened. I think a sunrise wedding that happened. So we got to create some really wonderful memories, Rex.
Oh, I
And
love that.
Proud of our camp for the incredible hard work that everybody did, putting their heart, blood, sweat, and tears into making this work and in conditions that were already not ideal to begin with, that were especially harsh given our low turnout count.
How much of a shrink is that for you?
My first year with the Janky Barge last year, when Mudman happened, it was like 40, 45 people. And we were like less than half that this year.
That's a big drop. Golly. Do you have some impression of what drove that?
for me, and I've pondered on this recently, there's been a multitude of factors. For some, just, economics. It's no exaggeration to say that everybody on this podcast, a lot of people in the world are hurting right now financially.
Yeah.
And I don't put it past anyone that just wants to say like, hey, you got to look out for me and mine. My heart says yes, but my bank account says like, no, I can't do it this year. So we have to push away. And other people, want to do other things. Like I know that's conversations I've had, not just in my camp, but as a burners, like, yeah, I just want to try to do something else. I want to, travel overseas, get that house, get that car, get whatever that thing is, level up in their lives in.
We have 2 campmates that are taking the year off next year, one because they're turning 30 and the other because they're turning 40.
Whoa.
And both of them are like, we just want to do a different thing, with all of our vacation time. And those guys are quitters. You hear me? Quitters. No, I love you, DJ Slurm and Collector.
DJ Slurm.
Yeah.
Nice. Love that name. I'm, in fact, one of those people that next year I'm going to take some time off. Because I'm, trying to level up in my life, get an apartment. Also help some folks around me get an apartment because that's just who I am in my nature. When you can, lift up others around you. And also I want to go to regional burns. I've never been to a regional burn and I want to finally, check those out.
Oh, that is a pretty good excuse for skipping the big burn. What regional burns do you have in mind?
First one is going to be UnScrewz.
Yeah. It's just such bad timing for me. I'd really love to go to UnScrewz. Santa Cruz is great. And
very close.
Yes, it's also very close. The Nevada one was pretty cool.
Synergy.
Ooh.
Rex and I are trying to go to Soak this year, which is the Portland one.
Oh my God, that was the second one I was going to bring up because I'm trying to go to that one too. Some friends at my camp mentioned Soak, like, hey, Passion, if you want to explore, regional burns, Soak would be a really good one to go to.
Portland is where I grew up, and I fucking love Portland burners.
Aww.
There's just this real vibe to them that feels like home, even before I've met them. There's only like so much flannel and ripped up jeans and beanies before I'm just like, oh, friends. So it's like a combination of 2 of my, I love LA burners, but they don't look inherently like my friends the way that Portland burners do.
Soak was the first regional that I went to. It's pretty great. I mean, camping out in Oregon is never a bad thing, unless you don't like mosquitoes.
Mosquitoes or rain or mud or wet.
Oh.
But, I grew up there. I can do it for a week.
It's the early summer. It's not that bad. You'll get rained on a little.
It's in May.
Maybe it is that bad.
Yeah. I'm going with the expectation of 0 sun and constant rain, and then anything past that is just like, because the sun breaks that time of year just make your heart sore.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing about Oregon rain. It rains all the time, but it doesn't rain all day.
Nice.
Yeah, I think that's a really good idea for folks that are missing the burn or can't, like it's not in your budget or you're just, the travel is too far. Like your regionals are really cool. And if you haven't been to your local regional, you are missing out on your community that is right next to you. The folks that you can go have dinner with, the folks that you can like have your own camp out with. Like you're missing a trick if you haven't been to your closest regional.
We should probably figure out and do Lakes of Fire sometime.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, we kind of have to do Apogea now that we have so many people in Colorado.
Yeah.
And, you can treat them like Pokemon. Just collect them all.
Everybody in the Burner Express was, well, with some exceptions, were just amazing, wonderful to talk to. One of a random burner just gave me a bracelet that said, fuck your burn.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, thank you. And it was just such a wonderful time. Got to talk with so many burners, hear their stories, their pain, their struggles, their triumphs, what led us all ultimately to this wonderful place that we call home.
That's wonderful. So what happened once you got there?
Oh, this is where things took a downturn. So while getting there was wonderful overall. The experience after that was, in my opinion, pretty shitty.
Oh, yeah?
Because for those that ride the Burner Express bus, you get stopped off at a depot where there's buses that are supposed to take you to various spots along the city so you can get to wherever you need to go to.
Right, like intersections.
Yes.
So that you don't have to walk too far to your camp because you're carrying your stuff with you.
Yes, well said. And apparently when we got there was two parts to this. Our bus, if our people got there, and then the rest of our items, like our bicycles and things like that, came 2 to 3 hours later.
Ooh.
So we were just waiting at the depot. We had a fun time. There's a bunch of random burners. We just came together and just pulled resources and said, "You want an orange? You want fruit snacks?"
We're all hanging out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
we're
might
in
as well
this
make
together.
it. Exactly. We might as well just make a thing out of it, and we did. And that part was beautiful. And eventually, the bikes came. We were able to get our stuff and get it onto the depot buses in order to get to wherever we needed to be. The one that I came on with, many of us, it took us to the opposite side of the city. My camp, I believe, was at 345 and F, and it went in the opposite direction.
So it's going out to the 10 o'clock side.
Yes. And we didn't know about it until they just randomly announced it. And I'm just like, oh, there's not a way you could have announced this before we got on. That would
Only
have been
one
nice.
direction and not the other. Like it
Exactly.
doesn't circle around.
No.
Okay.
So I guess everybody else, it worked out for them. But for me, it didn't because it's the opposite of the camp where I'm staying
So
at.
now all of your stuff is on the other side of Playa.
It went back to the depot where we began. But that was the last bus that was going to be running for that day. So I was essentially up Schitt's Creek.
Oh my God. And there's no way to communicate with the people in your camp who might be able to help.
I was like depressed over it. But this is, Burning Man, magical moments can happen. A random burner by the name of Jared saw that I had a bike and I had 2 of those medium-sized HDX bins and I was trying to Sherpa it to my camp.
Oh.
And just out of the kindness of his heart, just gem of a human being, he said, like, I'm going to carry this burden on with you and we're going to get you to your camp together.
Oh, just like, I'm going to help carry this with
Yeah.
you. Ah.
And it's just, oh my God, I'm almost crying because I so desperately needed his help and he was so there to take care of me.
That
we
is
walked,
great.
we walked at least, what was it? God, to get to the other side, it was at least 2 hours because we had to Sherpa all of this stuff in. And not only that, we ended up stopping by at a random camp that did wine and hot dogs. And I'm just so like tired but happy because Jared was doing such a great job helping me. I said, like, let's just stop here and have some wine and hot dogs and, enjoy the moment.
A classic mid-walk combination.
So all in all, from when you arrived on Playa to when you arrived at camp, how long was that?
Let's see. We got to Burning Man, left San Francisco at 8 a.m. Got to Burning Man probably around 2 or 3. I didn't get to my camp until 9 p.m.
Jeez.
Yep. And I still had to set up my tent and make my living space.
In the dark.
Yeah.
And when you come in on Playa Express, there's no option of like, it's too late, I'll crash in my car.
Yeah.
Exactly. But one amazing moment, and I will cherish this for the rest of my life. Jared, who was this like seriously like burner of the year material for helping me for like 3 hours, and his camp was the opposite way.
Just walking with the bike and passion stuff with him all the way to the other side.
Just a
of
gem of a
Playa.
human being.
Yeah.
And he just stopped and just I cried. I'm holding back the tears because it was just such a beautiful moment. And he told me, as we eventually got to camp, my campmates were like, "Oh my God, Passion is here, let's go!" And he just, he gave me a hug and he just told me, just carry these words with you that I'm about to tell you for the rest of your life. And I've always wanted to know the answer to this question, and he gave it so succinctly. The meaning of life is to give life meaning. The meaning of life is to give life meaning. And I just bawled my eyes because it's so beautiful. And he just said, "Hey, I hope you have a great burn." And he went on his way.
That is so great.
Yeah, that's gorgeous.
It's just one of my favorite life moments. It's definitely one of my favorite burn moments. It really just put a smile on my face. For all the ordeal I went to, I was just like, okay, now I know I'm home.
People complain about people flying in, and I think that the one really valid complaint about that is it should always be kind of a struggle to get to Burning Man.
Yeah.
I agree.
It kind of is, it kind of has to be.
Yeah.
If it hasn't been a struggle, like check your engine because your car's going to explode. So your camp was happy to have you, everything. You landed after a lot of struggle,
Yes.
made it, and with the help of friends. How was the rest of your burn? What did you like? What was the art that stood out to you? What experiences did you enjoy?
It was my favorite burn, especially for all the intimate moments that I had with people that made it such an incredible burn. Like right when we got there, I knew we were going to be in for something magical. And I had the time of my life. I got to, meet a ton of great burners, reconnected with old friends, made new friends, had some wonderful experiences, a couple downers, which I'll get to in a moment. One of them's pretty shocking, but overall it was a great burn. I'll tell you something crazy that happened. So I recently, I volunteered for Arctica. Mm-hmm. I love volunteering for them. It was really fun this time around because I guess I got really lucky because everybody who volunteered was just really cool and on top of their game.
That's pretty normal. I don't know.
I mean, that's fair enough.
Yeah. Usually the volunteers are really cool and at least on top of their game in such a way that it feels fun to do.
Yes. Like every Arctica shift I've had ever since I've done Burning Man has been great. This was just one of the ones where, oh my God, we were all in sync between like those who were pushing the ice, who were swinging the ice, the cashiers who was giving it to everybody. It was just so much fun.
You were together in the zone.
Yes.
Communal flow state.
Yes. And it was such a fun experience. We even got champagne at the end of our last shift, which was quite nice. And I got a couple, trinkets from some burners, and one burner offered me pole dancing lessons.
Oh, yeah.
Because something I really like to do at Arctica, for some of the Arctica stations, there's this pole that you can go on, and there's a little island where you can dance on it. And I like to dance because I'm comfortable in my body, and I generally love to dance. And she said, like, hey, you want to do pole dancing lessons later? And I'm just why not? Let's go. And so I went and did that later, and I had so much fun. Arctica's cool. Highly recommended. Just volunteer at Burning Man. And if you're inclined, Arctica's really cool. It's the coldest part of the city. It's really a beautiful thing in hot weather to be laying on a bed of ice.
Mm-hmm. And there's short shifts.
Yes.
Yeah, they're flow state shifts too. You're not bored.
No.
Never.
Yeah.
Never bored.
That's awesome. I've never done an Arctica shift. I feel like I ought to.
I thought you were going to say you'd never taken a pole dancing class.
No, I've never taken a pole dancing class either, but that's just because I've always been comfortable on the pole. It's a natural strength of mine. I'm just as bad on the pole as I am not on the pole. So I'm like a really solid, mediocre dancer in both cases. But on the pole, I'm a lot more likely to hurt myself, which is inherently more entertaining.
Nice.
Especially if it's one of those poles that actually spins, which is not how stripper poles and strip clubs worked when I was stripping. Those didn't fucking spin. You know how hard it is even to stand in those heels? And you want me to spin on a pole in those heels? Fuck you. It's going to be floor work from here on out.
Respect. But yeah, Arctica shift had a great time. That was just such a wonderful moment.
What else stood out for you this year?
So right next to our camp, there was a camp whose name is Religious as Fuck. Dead ass serious. That was their name. Love that camp, by the way. What a wonderful camp they are. I'll get more into them in a moment. But something beautiful happened, and I'm really proud of myself for doing this. There was a burner whose name is Moxie, who on my first night when I landed at Burning Man was on our art car. And we were just chilling, shooting the shit, talking, getting to know each other, and just had a great conversation about our lives and, what brought us to Burning Man. And I just had a really great vibe from her. Later on during Burner Week, we got into another conversation with her and a campmate, and somehow it just came up that she mentioned, like, I'd like to go on a date out here, but not very many guys take me up on that offer. And me being me, I'm just like, when the universe gives you a sign, act on it. Hey. And I just said, like, hey, I'd like to ask you out. And she said, yes.
Nice.
I'm just like, holy shit, that actually worked. Score.
When someone directly tells me they would like a date and I ask them for a date.
I went to a wonderful experience where we went on a date of sorts on Esplanade, got to know about each other, got to know particularly about our upbringings. We both had challenging upbringings that were necessary because it led us into the people that we are today.
Oh, isn't that true of all challenging upbringings?
Yes, indeed. And it was just such a wonderful date. It just felt real. I felt authentic. Nothing much happened after that, but I'm just happy that we just had such a wonderful moment. And for two just kindred souls to just come together, just get to know one another and just, appreciate this slice of moment in life.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah.
Thank you both. I'm just so proud of and my evolution, particularly this year as a human being, just realizing, take chances. Do that thing you didn't want to do. Or do that thing rather that you want to do, but just don't have yet the courage to do it. The worst thing that someone can say is just no. Did it destroy you? Did it end your life? Did the whole world come crashing down? No. Life will go on. So just take a chance and take that risk and, go outside your comfort zone. You may find something beautiful there that you didn't think you'd see before.
Yeah, absolutely. That is great. It's a great place to be brave, and it's a great place to deal with rejection, which is really fucking hard.
Mm-hmm.
But it's such a safe place because you can turn around and find other situations that are open to you, even in the face of rejection.
Yeah, I was just forced to think of the rejections that I've experienced on Playa, and it turns out there have been quite a few of them. And it turns out none of them stung.
Yeah.
Like I can think of a bunch of different instances and none of them felt rejections I've felt elsewhere.
Yeah.
Like, you're okay, great. I'll go do this other thing then.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a great place to confront rejection, and be willing to hold space for it because it's so much nicer. Like it doesn't matter what person or thing or experience that you get rejected from. If you just turn around at 180 degrees, you're going to see 1,000 new opportunities of something or someone or an experience that is excited to have you there.
Okay, I guess there was one rejection that stung a little.
Which one was that?
I won't name the person's name, but they had been flirting with me very intensely for quite some time. And then I asked if they wanted to go on a date, and they said no. And I thought, wow, that was a much higher level of flirtation than I would expect from somebody who had no interest in do anything about it. But okay.
Those romantic and sexual overtures are always the most intimacy risking ones. It's different than getting rejected from getting on an art car.
I mean, I'm never upset about being rejected about getting in on an art car because I don't wear my cool shoes on Playa. I don't expect to get anywhere without my cool shoes on.
I've just never, I just have stopped trying. The only way I get on art cars if someone invites me, because there was a series of years where I was always like, oh, hey, oh, no. Oh, hey, no. Okay. I guess these aren't for me.
I think I've also lost some motivation to get on art cars because it's such a crapshoot.
Yeah.
Yes.
So many of them where I'm like, this is the loudest place on Playa. And I can't be here right now. Can we stop, please?
My ears are bleeding, and now I'm 1.5 miles away from where I was going. All of my friends are here or lost.
Oh, there was one time I ran into some articulated bus art car. I was on foot way out in deep Playa. I'm like, oh, great, an art car. I'll get on that and go back into town. And I got on, I walked through it, and I got right back off because it was the hallway leading to the bathroom at a nightclub.
Oh, wow.
That's such a great art car, though. Just a bunch of closed bathroom doors. Just graffiti. This vague smell of urine.
That would be great. You could put little speakers behind each one. You could have the sounds of people doing lines.
The sounds of someone fucking. Just everything other than using the bathroom.
Yes, go.
All right, listeners, we need an articulated bus.
Did any art stand out for you this year?
There were 2 art pieces, and I didn't I wish I would have taken the time, Beth, to pay attention to art because I'm sure there was a lot of good ones, or a lot of great ones rather, but there are two that stood out to me. One embracing, just more of my geeky, nerdy side, and another embracing my side of empathy and desire for, social justice. First one, for a lot of you out there, a lot of us out here too, I'm into Lord of the Rings. Great books, but classic trilogy of films for a reason. And on Deep Playa, I noticed that there was, and I'll do my best to describe it, but it looked like the Eye of Sauron. If you go to Deep Playa, it was like the Eye of Sauron, and there's just like the stage. And I noticed there's like a lot of people and some art cars that were near the stage, and it just blew my mind. It's just
went out way deep to the eye.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing really dominated the landscape. That was one of those things that really gives you a perspective for how big the city is because it looks small, but it wasn't small.
Yeah, it looks small but you first have to get past the eye breaker, whatever that thing was, speed of light.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was behind it. So you had to go past the strobes. But man, it was very big.
Stroboscopic fence.
It was just gorgeous, and I'm glad I just went out there just for like the hell of it. Like, why not? And there was like a good 20 minutes where I just sat there like, who did this? How? I have questions. It was so gorgeous. I just sat there for like 20, 30 minutes and just stared at it. Just biggest smile on my face because the sheer ingenuity, how this was put together, the design behind it, I loved it. It's truly one of my favorite art pieces.
That is so rad. Okay, so geeky side, Eye of Sauron out by the trash fence.
Yes.
For your other sides.
Oh yes, this one concerning social justice and what's going on currently in the world. So there was this sign, and it's connected to Ukraine. I'm trying to get the name. I think
I'm fine.
Yes, that was it.
I'm fine.
That was it. Yes.
Devastating.
It broke me. It emotionally, physically, spiritually broke me when I came across it.
Like I aimed to go out there. I was like, I want to go see it. I know what it is. And the closer I got, the more like it's very large. So it's definitely one of those scale things. But reading the plaque on the side of it and really reading what I'm fine means to the artists who made it, that was so beautiful. Yeah, I absolutely shed a whole bunch of tears over that one.
I'm just feel very privileged that I was never out there when the sirens went off on it.
Oh,
It was hard enough already. That would have really just crushed me.
Just conceptually hard. Yeah.
damn. Absolutely. And it really just spoke to me about using the power of art to have conversations and to bring meaning and awareness to what's going on in today's society.
Yeah.
And an issue that is so critically dire and is necessary to talk about and have conversations about.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a beautiful piece.
I'll venture and say just one of the best art pieces of Burning Man I've ever seen.
It
Just
really,
period.
it really moved me. It's definitely up there for me. I have a bunch of them that stick in my heart. And honestly, like the ones that really get me are the ones that couldn't happen anywhere but Burning Man, and I'm Fine feels like one of those. I mean, it could happen. They should put that elsewhere. It is so good and it's so impactful on its own, but it really feels uniquely like Burning Man.
It was an incredible piece in a year of incredible art.
Yeah, such a good year.
It really stood out.
Wonderful art piece. Just those two with the I'm Fine piece and the Eye of Sauron were easily like my... Oh, and a third one, just a bonus mention. There's the Sonic Runway.
Yeah, it was so gorgeous this year.
Especially at night. Oh my God. Was it gorgeous to walk through or bike through, if that's your thing. But
And if you don't like the art, just stick around until people bike into each other. It's very amusing. It's a double whammy, the Sonic Runway. It is gorgeous, and boy, howdy, are you going to watch people bike into each other.
That one is a much better iteration of visualization of speed than the
super bright light.
the death strobes. Like, it's cool to see the pulses traveling at you at the speed of sound.
Yeah, that is really neat. Need a lot of space.
Good job, Sonic Runway, always.
Always.
yes.
Local legends.
speaking of the camp that was next to us that I had on that date with Moxie, religious as fuck, one of my absolute favorite camps of the year. And it was interesting because I'm not a particularly religious person. Mm-hmm. My concept of religion, I've always needed a piece of media to perfectly encapsulate this. And the movie Kingdom of Heaven by Ridley Scott did this. The concept of religion that I vibe with is what I do in my head, in my heart, and the right actions that I do each day. That for me is a concept of what I consider religion. So the fact that even for someone that's not particularly religious, that they at Camp Religious as Fuck were so accommodating, truly deeply moved me. They had these devotion sessions that were just powerful. That wherever you were religious or whatever religion you happen to find yourself attracted to, it was very inclusive for everybody. Mm-hmm. You didn't even have to be religious. You could be whatever religion, whether you believe in Christianity, Catholicism, Hinduism, whatever your deity is. They had a place for you at devotion, and it really transformed me.
Huh?
What a great invitation!
I would not expect a camp of that name to be
serious,
a sincere religious experience.
They had an actually ordained minister. It was very inclusive. You had people of so many different, backgrounds, genders, orientations. It really, I think, is a model of what a camp should be. Ooh. And I just had such a wonderful time there.
Oh, that's lovely.
I remember a burner there with that camp said something that will stick with me until the day I die, because it's such beautiful words. And I feel a lot of people could really use this. And the quote was, "One should taste their words before spitting them out." And that's stuck with me oh my God.
Yeah, something D-Day is incapable of. I'm not convinced he hears them as they're coming out.
It's okay, I've got him covered.
That is really beautiful. The invitation to explore religion out there is not something that I've and it is the right place for me to engage with religion, because outside in being crushed by capitalism zone is not. It doesn't work for me. It makes me angry and upset more than it allows me to hear what other people genuinely believe, which is often beautiful and lovely and nice to invite into your heart.
That's one of those things that I feel has changed about Burning Man, is there's somewhat less of a presence of traditional and semi-traditional religious expression. I remember there was a Hare Krishna presence in my first couple of years.
Wow.
I don't think they do that no more. There has definitely always been a Jewish contingent there, but I feel like they've been a little less expressive in their invitation to come to do Jewish praying. Or at least I don't see it as
I talked to someone who was in a Jewish camp that was having a Seder dinner. And they were the advertisement was free egg.
Oh, wow.
That's great.
Yeah, it was really cute.
And the Church of the Subgenius doesn't come out anymore. But we're not the most active religion anymore. It got less funny over the years.
Yeah. Yeah, it did. Now it's too important.
It's too on the nose.
To be funny.
Okay, I will talk about this because this is really one of the most intimate experiences that I had. So this is very common in the Bay Area, and especially at Burning Man and some places around the world. People like to go to play parties, where it's the idea, the high expectation that anything can happen in these spaces without the expectation that you have to do any of it. It's a space for people to come together, to have community and have intimate experiences in whatever form, consensually, by the way, between all parties that people choose to engage in. There happened to be a friend. I won't tell their name on here, but I was just oh my God, you're here at Burning Man. That's A, awesome, and B, way cool. It was great to run into that person. And we were both having to be at this play party, and we were just we were caught up, how are you doing? How's life treating you? And we just had a really good conversation about 30 minutes, and I was feeling her vibe, she was feeling mine, and we got very intimate for a couple hours. I've just had like the biggest smile on my face, and so did she, because it was just like two just compatible people just coming together and having a really nice, amazing, yummy experience.
And this was new intimacy for you, I take it.
Yes. It was my first time doing something like that at Burning Man. This is a wonderful, amazing.
I mean, with this individual, this was the first time you connected that way?
Actually, for this specific individual, the second time. Yeah. It was at a different play party in the Bay Area. But it was just such a wonderful experience. I think she's just a gorgeous human being. And I just was blessed that we were able to have that experience together. And it was nice that, and I'm sure I should have known that something like play parties would be out there. OG Dorm is a thing. So it was just really just a tip in the hat to both of us for just having the confidence to explore in this space with consent, fully agreed upon consent with us. And it was just a wonderful, yummy experience, a wonderful, deeply, incredible, intimate experience.
I suddenly realized I've never done a play party at Burning Man outside of the Orgy Dome. Huh. What a basic bitch burner I am.
And we're back. And that was Passion.
That was Passion once again. Thanks for updates, Passion. If you want to give us updates on how Burning Man has transformed you, drop us a line at accuracythird@gmail.com, all spelled out, no numbers.
And if you want to tell us stories about how Burning Man made you really rashy, we'd also like to talk to you.
That's a transformation.
Rashy is a transformation.
Yeah, you transformed from having normal skin to having ruined skin. That's going to not heal until winter comes.
Oh no, my feet just bleed now.
Thank you to our patrons on Patreon for helping us make this episode. This week, well, not this week, but whenever the less edited version of this interview gets posted to the Patreon feed, you will get to hear about all of our friends' car troubles getting to Burning Man in 2024. Janky Barge jank that we couldn't fit into the episode, and also how many live eels D-Day can fit in his culo. I wasn't in on the interview, but I just put some footage in there for him.
You're really selling this Patreon. Listeners, you can get all of this goodness about D-Day, his butthole, and sea eels.
River eels. Thank you.
River eel. Oh, well, that's a whole different story.
Yeah, freshwater eels. I mean, well, you'll hear about it in the Patreon episode.
Yeah, not Gel Eater either. It's live eels. You can get all of that for a single $1. It gets you all that material.
And if you have now given us $5 over any period of time, we will give you a playa name.
If you want one.
I mean, you don't have to accept it, but we will attempt to name you.
You have to ask for it, though. We're not going to, track you down and give you a playa name.
Yeah,
but we are going to take it seriously, and we will do a good job.
And it requires you to send us pictures of your pets. It's important.
Assuming you have pets. If you don't have pets, why are you even talking to us? Go get yourself a cat.
I accept pictures of other people's pets.
And buttholes. Join the Discord. Look at buttholes.
Oh, the buttholes are great.
And also, don't go get a cat. Go get 2 cats. Cats come in pairs.
In this episode, Passion shares the meaning of life. Earlier in the episode, he says that the meaning of life is to give life meaning. What are your meanings of life?
I like that one from Passion. That's a good one.
I believe he probably embodies that as much as he can. Seems like a thoughtful guy.
Meaning of life.
Yeah, not to be too unoriginal, but 5 tons of flax. 5 tons of flax.
Flax seeds?
5 tons of flax!
I don't understand.
Exactly.
Oh, God, this is Discordianism.
Exactly.
Meaning of life.
Mm-hmm. Mine is projects, Beth.
Oh, that's sweet. Projects is a good meaning of life.
And people can be projects, too, not to discount all the people who give my life meaning. Our relationships are also projects that
Yeah.
I'm engaged in.
Mostly them getting you to behave in ways that they can stand to be around.
Actually, I'm going to punt my answer to Don Hertzfeld. You want to know my meaning of life? You go to Google, you go meaning of life, Don Hertzfeld. You're welcome.
All right.
Meaning of life.
Boh.
Oh, that one is good. You know, it turns out that's a fairly large question that my brain doesn't want to just answer.
Right?
I don't know. I did some substances one time and discovered that I could, feel like we were all interconnected in one being. And I don't know if that's the meaning of life, but it's the meaning I've found that I enjoy reminding myself of, especially if everything sucks, you know?
Sure. And if you want to quote Douglas Adams, 42, and if you want to quote Monty Python, more hats.
More hats.
More hats.
Read a nice book now and then. Get out to the cinema. Accuracy Third is produced by Accuracy Third.
The music in this episode is Wave by Ego Death, which is the music which was in the last episode that Passion was in. So that's a nice Easter egg of continuity for you, isn't it?
I don't think it's an Easter egg when you're just like, look at this egg.
Acting like you've never fucking had an Easter before, Beth. Everyone shows off all their eggs. You ashamed of all the eggs you found, Beth? What's wrong with you? We are going to have a party on Playa this year, and you should reach out to us and tell us where we're going to have this party on Playa this year.
Yeah. And, if you like this podcast, there's a couple of ways that you can help us out. One way would be to give us money on Patreon. Another way would be to come join our Discord and enjoy our lovely community. And still yet, the most important way is for you to come on the podcast. This is the oral history of Black Rock City. And that history isn't complete without you rambling at us in a shed.
Remember that coming to Black Rock City is not a prerequisite for being on this show. The Burning Man culture has escaped the confines of the playa and is now global. If you are part of it and you feel yourself part of it, we want your story.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't have to have lungs that can deal with the fucking playa.
Give me something to edit, please. Or edit the podcast your own damn self. We'll help you learn how. We won't. We'll tell you how we do it, and you can learn how to do it yourself. But we'll let you do it. Reach out to us at accuracythird@gmail.com. Follow us on Bluesky, and you can look at our old Instagram feed, which hasn't been updated in like half a decade, on Instagram. Burnernarc.com is my social media.
You want photographs of a podcast? Just nothing but VUs.
It would just be pictures of the cats, guys, if I'm honest. I forgot how to log into it, so it's just...
Yeah, well, your iPhone is so old it doesn't accept passwords anymore. It's full of passwords. It can't remember anymore.
One moment that did happen that was a bit of a Debbie Downer was with Burning Man being, radical inclusivity. You get the whole gamut of humans, including who I like to refer to as douche nozzles.
Yeah, there's definitely a percentage of douche nozzles out there.
Yes. And we came across one around the mid portion of Burn Week. So a lot of people know this. It's just common sense when there is a vehicle in motion. It's a good idea to not try to get on it while it is in motion.
Generally the advice.
But, as we all know, common sense is not very common. And one burner decided, fuck common sense. I'm going to get on the barge anyway while it's moving. And he tried to get on, and we're just like, dude, you can't do this. He kept going on. He somehow got through, and we're just like, you have to get off now. And he tried to start an argument. We physically, verbally pushed him off of the art car, and he got into a fight with one of our members.
Oh my God.
We had to get off. It's like, we need to stop this now and handle this. And so we took care of it. He went on his way. It was a really jarring moment because we don't know what could happen to him, or what could, more importantly, what could happen to us. So there was enough of us there that we were able to contain the situation. One of the camp members' glasses, got damaged, I believe, but we were fine physically. It wasn't anybody that was like
hurt
physically harmed in any way. Yeah, it's just a jarring moment because I was inclined to believe that people would know better, but being, in the place of radical inclusivity, there are some assholes out there that like to ruin it for everyone else.
It is also a place where there are lots of bars and they're all free. And
it's true.
Yeah.
Nothing in this world encourages bad behavior like alcohol.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. If that person was on the acid, they would have listened to you when they're like, that's dangerous. And if they were on Molly, you just would have hugged them until the car got far enough away that they didn't feel the need to follow up.
Yes.
I hate confrontations out there. This is why I would never be a ranger, right? Like, you guys handled that yourself, but another way that you could have handled that is wave down a ranger, find a way to get a ranger, because that's what I always do. Is if someone is being aggressive or difficult, I'm like, this isn't my job. We have people who are trained for this.
True.
But like me, yeah, that's why I wouldn't be a ranger, because I don't like handling aggression out there. It's just such a bummer. It's like, why are you making this so awful when you have every opportunity not to?
Because they filled my tumbler with chilled white wine and I drank all of it, and then they filled it again. It's 17 ounces.
Art car is a lot of extra work around wrangling people.
Yes, it is. But I am happy that as a camp, for those that were there during the incident, that we came together, made sure that we were all okay. So I'm just happy to see us just band together in a difficult moment and come out of it, nobody was seriously injured. Nobody had to go to the hospital at that moment. So I was just very proud of that we were able to get through it.
Yeah, hard stuff helps bond us all together. I just prefer when that hard stuff is weather.
Yes, that would be ideal.